So why is it important to have a defined culture in your business? Kevin Ware, your Action Business Coach. And if you enjoy this content, go ahead and subscribe below where we get to talk to you twice a week on how you can be a better business owner. So what I want to talk about today is why it's critically important for you to have a culture that defines your business. Now, I've been talking about vision and mission in your business. If you want to have some ideas of what it looks like to put a mission in place, go ahead and click up there and you're going to see a link for a video on how you can make your own mission statement. So let's dive into this today. So the first reason that it's important to have a culture statement defined in your business is you get to choose what's important to you, the business owner. You probably have an idea of what your business wants to look like on a day-to-day basis. So guess what you do get to do? You get to make the choice. Now, the second reason it's important to have a defined culture in business is now just the polar opposite. Here's the thing, if you don't choose your culture, your employees will choose it for you. And that may not be good if you have dysfunctional employees, because if you think about it, when you don't create a culture set at all, that allows employees to choose whatever they want. And you know the old song, it only takes one bad apple to spoil the whole bunch. Well, guess what? You have one or two bad apples in your business. They get to define what is the culture in your business. And I really don't think you want those bad apples defining the culture of your business. And even if you don't have bad apples, the employees are still going to choose the culture that they want, and maybe it's not what you want. So you've got to take control and you've got to make the choice on what you want your culture to be in your business. Now, the third reason that it's important to define a culture in your business is that your employees want to know what behaviors are desired. How can we behave in this business? What is it that's right behavior? And the opposite is number 4, you get to choose what behaviors are not desired or acceptable. So you get to define what's acceptable behavior, and you get to define what's not acceptable behavior. And so when you clearly communicate that out to your employees, they have an awareness of how they're supposed to behave in the business. If you don't have those behaviors defined, guess what? It's a free-for-all. And I don't think you want a free-for-all in your business. Now, the fifth reason that it's important to have a defined culture in your business is that your employee manual is not, and I emphasize, it is not your culture direction. I've seen this before when I ask business owners, it's like, well, tell me about your culture. They said, oh yeah, it's all defined. I said, great, show me. And then I see their employee manual. I'm like, this isn't a culture statement. An employee manual is a legal document that defines certain legal responsibilities that they have as employees and that you have as an employer. It's not a culture statement. Those two are totally different things. So you have to understand your employee manual is not what is designed to define your culture. It's the thou shalt do's and thou shalt not do's, and if you don't do that, here's your punishment, and here's where the break room is, and here's how often you get paid. That's not culture. Okay? So now, what's the sixth reason it's important to have a culture in your business is that it's going to develop a sense of camaraderie with a defined culture. People rally around a commonness within the business. It's an all for one and one for all. If you've ever been in sports, be it high school, college, or whatever, the best teams have a process of gelling themselves together. They operate as a unit. They operate as one. And this is what a good culture is designed to do, is develop that camaraderie so people feel that they're all working well together to get one common objective. So that's what makes having that culture critically important. Now, the seventh reason that culture is important in a business is that it basically, as a potential employee, you get to self-select if you don't like what you see in this culture. Imagine this. Imagine that, let's say that I'm a 55-year-old male. Well, not 55, but let's pretend I'm a 55-year-old male, and I go and interview, and I find that the culture of this business is all about Japanese anime, that there is a distinct culture inside the business where Japanese anime language and feel and costumes and all sorts of things are celebrated inside of this business. You're probably feeling really uncomfortable and you're like, no, I'm going to stay away from that. And so culture defines a business such that it attracts the kind of people it wants to attract. And if it isn't going to attract that employee who's not going to feel comfortable from day one, then why even bother? But if you don't have a defined culture, or you don't put the culture out there, you may hire people who walk in and all of a sudden they realize, oh, this was a bad choice. You don't want potential future employees making bad choices on if they want to work for you or not. Now, the eighth and final reason, and to me, this is probably going to be the most important reason of why it's important to have a defined culture in your business, is you will stand out from other businesses who are also recruiting talent. Because in today's market, recruiting talent is becoming more and more and more difficult. We see more baby boomers exiting out of the workforce than Gen Zers coming into the workforce. So as time goes on, it's just going to get more and more and more difficult to recruit talent. Now, if you have a defined culture that fits the kind of people that you want, they're going to be much more attracted to you than just some run-of-the-mill company that has no defined culture, or a culture that's toxic and the business owner doesn't even realize it's toxic. So imagine if you have that defined, standout culture that everybody who is talented wants to go to, you become the business of choice and the employer of choice for them. So now, if you need some help on developing a culture in your business, I want you to go ahead and click below and type in the word culture into the comments section. And we've got a whole guide of how you can develop your culture in your business. And if you still want some more information about how to be better at business, go ahead and check some of our videos so that you can continually be better at what you do as a business owner. Go out there, make it happen.